start of the week and the theme of the week, which is about embracing our new life. And what we really are required to do is to cultivate trust. Okay, so in our yoga practice, what this comes down to is looking at things that scare us and deconstructing them. Okay, so instead of going, I'm just going to throw myself into it and hope for the best, it's always about the foundations. It's always about setting the right foundations. So whether you're building a house or a new relationship or a new career or a new lifestyle, you want to start with the real basics, right? So we're going to come back to that. And when you're really looking to cultivate trust, it's about recognizing that fear is a natural reaction, right? Fear is normal. It's there. When you're embracing change, you're going to feel fear. So trying to avoid fear is going to limit always what is possible, right? So we neither want to throw ourselves into things nor block ourselves from things that are scary. It's about developing curiosity and wonder, and we do that through play. So in any area of your life that scares you, how can you actually cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity in terms of how things could actually be different? Because if you want something outside to be different, you have to show up differently. And I say this again and again in all my coaching work, that if you are meeting external resistance, there is some internal resistance to befriend. And usually it's a part of us we don't own. So projection is when you project onto others what you don't own. And it's like, I feel like this because of what you're doing or because of what you're saying or whatever. And ultimately, what other people think of us is none of our business. That's a really helpful place to start. And also, when we want to show up and be the best version of ourselves we can be, which on our yoga mat, that means aligning with your divine design, your optimal blueprint, being in service. You're no good to anyone if you're exhausted, strung out, all the rest of it, right? So knowing how to self-care is essential. And you learn that through your practice. So we know, for example, that if we start to shake, that's time to step back, to stop. We know as women that if we've got our moon time, that it's not the time to push yourself. Same with menopause. It's like if you're having a hot flush, you do not want to be pushing yourself. You want to be stepping back. There are other times, though, that fear will prevent us from doing something that we know we just have to trust, take a leap. We've set it all up, and it's about jumping and showing up differently. So that's what we're going to play with today. Now, when we talk about embracing our new life, I had a dream, which I'll go into in another video a bit later today, about the fact that the New Earth paradigm has truly been birthed. And the symbol is rainbows. So if you're seeing rainbows, it's a really good sign that you're connecting to this idea of living in a way in your life that you're thriving rather than just surviving. So if you feel like you are in survival mode in any area of your life, ask yourself the question, what would it look like to thrive here? And I believe it was in yesterday's cacao ceremony that the word, I think it was yesterday, it could have been some other time this week because all these things blend into one with me in the end, the feeling of relief. Like any area of your life that you're really stressed in, that you're really worried about, what would relief feel like and look like in that area? Like, can you play with this idea of trust and relief, like trusting yourself to be able to deal with that place that normally creates a bit of a knot in you and to actually feel relief. So with my fertility clients, that's the relief of not having got their period and being pregnant at last, right? Yeah, but for someone who maybe doesn't want to be pregnant, it's the relief of their moon time coming. It's different for us all, whatever it is. But if you can take yourself over the bridge of this place that is the swampland in the middle that you're like, oh, the crocodiles are going to get me, and actually feel the relief. Remember, your brain and your body cannot tell the difference between something you imagine and something that's real. That's the power we have. That's why imagination is so powerful, and it's why we have had it suppressed in us from such a young age. Stop daydreaming. Get on with your work, right? Because through imagination you can create anything. That's why we want to play on the mat. That's why I'm not here as a teacher going, just do what I'm doing. This is not another religion where you're just going to listen and do what I say. This is about you waking up to your authenticity, what is true for you. Okay? How you play with the posture will be different for each one of you. So we celebrate that. Okay, so we're going to call in the Cacao Diva. So if you want to bring your cacao up. And if you're not drinking cacao, just bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And opening to the idea of embracing your new life. The life where you feel relief, where you feel inspiration, where it feels as though those things that have been so challenging are a thing of the past. And we invite the Cacao Diva into each of our own energy fields to bring the insight required, the revelation, the opening to grace, that brings balance and harmony, that allows us to look differently at something that has been a challenge for so long, and to see it for the blessing that it is. So in this invitation, we activate this intention with the sound Ma and anchor that into the earth, the sound Om into the universe, the sound An from our hearts to each other. Deep breath in. Ma.